They thought it was just a quiet morning, the kind you barely remember. But that morning became unforgettable. In the small town of Brookville, where life was slow and peaceful, lived a young family. Sarah, Ben, their baby daughter Lily, and their loyal German shepherd. Max. Max wasn't just a pet. He was family, a protector, a shadow, a soul. 3 years ago, Sarah found him limping near a grocery store, ribs showing, eyes terrified. Since then, he had never left her side. When Lily was born, Max took on a new role, her silent guardian. Wherever she went, he was there, patient, watchful, loving. That Sunday morning started like all others. Sunlight slipping through the windows, oatmeal bubbling on the stove, Lily babbling in her high chair, slapping sticky banana pieces onto the tray. Ben was outside, fixing a leaky garden hose, and Max sat under Lily's chair, waiting for whatever snack might fall his way. What they didn't notice was the rusty backyard gate that had been creaking for weeks. A little bent, a little loose, something they meant to fix, but didn't. That morning, the wind picked up just right, the latch gave way, and the gate swung open. Max saw something. Maybe a squirrel. Maybe nothing at all. He bolted through the gate, curiosity guiding him. Then came the sound, a sharp clang, a metal jolt, then silence, followed by a sharp yelp. Panic. Ben dropped the hose and sprinted. Sarah rushed out. Baby Lily balanced on her hip. There, by the iron gate, was Max's head, was stuck, trapped between two metal bars that he had shoved his head through chasing something. But now, the angle, the curve of his ears, the thickness of his neck, it all worked against him. He was caught, panicked, bleeding, his body twisted and thrashed, the bars dug into his neck. His breathing turned shallow and fast. Whines escaped his throat like cries of betrayal. Sarah screamed. Ben tried to pull the bars apart with his hands. Nothing. They didn't budge. Sarah set Lily on the porch and called animal control. No answer. She called again. Voicemail. Ben grabbed a wrench, trying to use it for leverage. The iron didn't move. A neighbor ran over to help. They tried together. Max struggled harder, scraping his skin, making it worse. Sarah cried. He's going to choke. He's going to die. Max's eyes were wild, filled with fear. His tongue was out. He pawed at the ground as if digging for an escape. Then it happened. Lily screamed, but not out of fear, not from pain. Something else. Sarah turned. Lily wasn't on the porch anymore. She was standing on her own. They had waited months for this. Doctors said she might be delayed. Her legs were weak. She hadn't taken a single step yet. But now she stood, wobbling, fighting her balance. And then she walked, tiny steps. One, then another, toward Max. Ben reached forward. Lily, no, stay back. But she didn't listen. She kept walking, toward the struggling dog. And when she reached him, she placed her small hand on his paw. Max froze. His body went still. The wild panic in his eyes softened. His heavy breathing slowed. The trembling stopped. He looked at Lily, and she looked back. She leaned in, her forehead almost touching his. And in the quietest, gentlest whisper her baby voice could form, she said, "Ma." That one word, that one touch, that one moment changed everything. Max stopped struggling. He didn't move. He didn't fight. He just waited. Calm. Ben looked at Sarah. She calmed him down. He whispered. Our baby calmed him down. With renewed strength, Ben grabbed the bars, wrapped his arms tight, and pulled like his life depended on it, like Max's life depended on it. His hands tore open. His arms shook, and then one of the bars bent, just enough. Max yelped, pulled backward, and his head slipped free. He fell to the ground, panting, bleeding, but breathing. Lily giggled. She crawled into his side, laying her cheek on his fur. Max didn't move, but his tail thumped. They rushed Max to the emergency vet. The vet examined him and said softly, "It's a miracle." If the pressure had lasted just a few more minutes, his airway could have collapsed. But he calmed down right before the worst. That saved his life. Sarah said, "It was Lily. She made him calm." The vet paused, then smiled. "Then she's the reason he's alive." Later, that day, the neighbor showed them something. He had recorded everything. From the porch, through the window. The video of Lily walking for the very first time. Not to her parents, not to a toy, but to save her dog. It went viral. Millions of people watched the moment a baby walked before she was ready, because her best friend needed her. Some called it instinct. Others called it a miracle. Doctors tried to explain it. But Sarah didn't need science. She saw what she saw. When no one else could help. When tools and strength failed. When time was running out. Her daughter did something impossible. She walked. For the very first time, Tio saved the dog who had always watched over her. That night, Max lay curled on the rug, cone around his neck, groggy, but alive. Lily climbed beside him, rested her head on his belly. Max licked her hand once, and they both slept. Outside, the gate had been replaced, but something else had been repaired, too. Something deeper, the bond between two souls. One who once needed rescue, and one who, one day, would grow up knowing that her first steps didn't just change her life, they saved another. Weeks had passed since that terrifying day. Max had recovered. The wounds on his neck healed. Though the fur hadn't quite grown back, he still wore a soft cone at night, just to be safe. But during the day, he was back. Watching, following, protecting. Lily was walking now. Not just wobbly steps, but full, confident little walks. And every time she walked, Max was beside her. Every step. It was like she had learned to walk for him. And now, he walked for her. The bond between them had deepened into something beyond words. It was quiet, sacred, unshakable. Sarah often caught Max staring at Lily when she slept, like he was memorizing her, as if making a silent promise. Then came the morning that changed everything. Again, it started like any other day. Sunlight through the curtains. Coffee brewing. Lily playing near the sliding door. Ben was at work. Sarah was folding laundry on the couch. Max was watching the backyard, alert as always. Then Sarah's phone buzzed. A neighbor. She stepped away for just a minute to take the call. That minute was all it took. The sliding door hadn't latched properly, and Lily, curious and clumsy, had pushed it open. She wandered into the backyard, the same backyard where the old gate had once been, now replaced with a new one. But beyond the yard, across the street, was a forest path. And today, someone had left the back fence slightly open. Max saw it all before Sarah did. Lily walking through the grass, toward the open gate, toward the road, and toward something none of them saw yet. A delivery van speeding. Down the hill, Max bolted. He didn't barked. He didn't growled. He ran. Sarah turned as the door slammed open. She saw Max sprinting, faster than she had ever seen. Then she saw Lily at the edge of the yard, her tiny hand reaching for a flower, and the van, coming fast, too fast. Sarah screamed. But Max was already there. He reached Lily just as she stepped onto the road. With a force that shocked everyone, he used his entire body to knock her sideways, off the road, into the tall grass. The van never saw them. It didn't stop, but Sarah did. She ran, fell, crawled. Max was lying still. Lily was crying, but unhurt. Max was hurt. His side had scraped the asphalt. Blood. His leg was twisted beneath him. But his eyes were on Lily, still watching her, still protecting, even in pain. Even now, the vet later said Max had a dislocated hip and deep bruising. He would need rest. Maybe even surgery if the swelling didn't go down. Sarah held his paw at the clinic. Ben stood behind her, tears in his eyes. But Lily crawled right onto the exam table, put her hand on Max's paw, just like she did the day he was stuck in the gate, and whispered again, "Ma." Max blinked. His tail moved. Once, twice. He was going to be okay. News spread again. First, the baby who walked to save her dog. Now, the dog who risked his life to save her. It was a story no one could forget. A full circle. Point two rescues. Point two. Lives forever intertwined. Neighbors called them heroes. The vet called it mutual devotion. But Sarah just called it love. A love that didn't need words. That night, Max slept beside Lily's crib, his leg in a brace, his body sore. But he didn't move away, and Lily reached her tiny hand through the bars of her crib, touched his head. They stayed like that for hours, silent, connected, safe. Sometimes, people think miracles are loud, that they come with light or thunder or signs from the sky. But in Brookville, they learned something else. Miracles can come on four legs. Or two tiny feet, with a whimper. Or a whisper. And sometimes, they come when the one you saved becomes the one who saves you back.